I'm going to preface everything that happens today with this picture here. That's why it's here. Let's not forget the most important part of this entire equation that we're talking about is this young lady here, Nikisha Bryant. Her family is here. I invited them to come here today, and let me just share how we got here and what we've done to get here. As you know, January 16th, which occurred on a national holiday to recognize the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King, there was a shooting at the Ilous Ellis Park in Fort Pierce. That resulted in this young lady's death. 29 years old. Let's not forget also, there were 7 additional victims shot during that horrific incident. 4 others were injured as they tried to escape the chaos, and that's what it was, chaos from the scene. And only by the grace of God, we don't have 7 other pictures lined up here. Those other 7 were lucky enough to survive that day. Sadly, Nikisha's not here with us. Like so many other families that day, they went there with really the intention to enjoy the day with their families. Nikisha was celebrating with her young daughter, and she was with her daughter ordering food at a food truck when indiscriminate gunfire struck and killed her. Those who know her have best described her as nice, intelligent. She was a mother, a daughter. She was a business owner. She was a hairdresser, and she aspired to become a nurse. All those dreams, aspirations, will never see her achieve because of this reckless act in the park that day. Since that tragedy, we have worked to prevent another tragedy from occurring, and God forbid if it does, we hope to have video evidence in the future if anything like this occurs, something we did not have in this case. We have worked with St. Lucie County Board of County Commissioners to install cameras in all the parks, 5 parks here in St. Lucie County. These are parks that have been plagued with violence and or vandalism, and they include this park, which was Ilous Ellis Park, also Pepper Park on North Beach, Lakewood Park and Lakewood Park, Lakewood Park Stadium, and Stan Blum Boat Ramp. We currently are in the bid process with 2 companies to supply and install these cameras. We're waiting for that bid to come back and we'll start in that process. In addition, county commissioners have banned the 2 event promoters, and that's after consultation with us. Those 2 event promoters are James Mons and Tiffany Burrell. The actual letter is on the back table there that the county administrator sent to these 2, and they are banned from leasing any county facility due to their failure to procure and maintain an armed security detail, which was canceled the night before this tragedy. They failed to notify the county that the security detail was canceled. They failed to notify us that it was canceled. Also on their application, they signed off on that said there would not be alcohol served at this event. And we know there was alcohol served at this event. There was actually a beer truck on premises, which clearly suggests that they falsified their application to the county. As I mentioned, the county administrator sent a letter. Ironically, it was this past Friday that he sent that letter to both of those promoters, prohibiting them from any business at any county park. Since this incident, there has been a tremendous amount of investigative work. I've mentioned Detective Don Dale. I've mentioned Detective Anthony Scupo. That's 2 only in an army of detectives that have really poured their heart and soul into this case. There's been a tremendous amount of work done to identify the shooter and then to arrest those responsible. And I cannot underscore the amount of work that went into this case. And sadly, TC Palm, I know somebody here is from TC Palm, their editorial board took it upon themselves to write an editorial that says because of lack of communication on our end, we're not working the case, and it really didn't mean much to us. I can tell you this case meant a lot to us. When you walk into the detective bureau and see her picture on the wall and 7 other ones lined up, that's what these people come to work for every day, is to bring justice and closure in cases like this. After a bunch of investigation, based on the evidence that we've gathered, we found probable cause that a 28-year-old resident by the name, I just want to get his picture first, by the name of Kimmy Ricardo Parson was responsible for Nikisha's death. Once the probable cause was established, we worked with our state attorney's office to issue a warrant for his arrest. And at approximately 8:35 Friday morning, which was St. Patty's Day, so the luck of Kimmy ran out, he was located and arrested by U.S. Marshals in Tampa, Florida. His charges include attempted first-degree murder, murder with a firearm, second-degree murder, and possession of a firearm or ammunition by a convicted felon. He's being held in the Hillsborough County Jail without bond, waiting to be extradited here to St. Lucie County. I could tell you that the community, by sharing their photos and videos of this MLK event and subsequent tragedy that occurred, they have been especially helpful in this case. I met with Mrs. White Saturday, and I said, I think because of the public plea from her and her family, it played a role in us getting probably more evidence than we would normally get in a case like this. And she puts a face with this tragedy. She puts a story behind this victim, and that all played an important part in us getting information. As a reminder, there still is a $10,000 reward out there for any other information that our community feels important. And with the arrest of this suspect, our work is not done. This has just begun. We want to know who the other people were in the park that shot that day. We want to know if there's video or photos out there that our community still has that they haven't shared. We need it. We want it. And don't forget, this is the most important part of this equation. We want justice for her. We want justice for this family. And I would like to extend a big thank you to all of our partners, local, state, and federal, that helped us on this case. That was ATF, the FBI, the state attorney's office, the U.S. attorney's office. We couldn't have done it without all of them. And that's about all I got to say. That's it. We do have, as I mentioned, a $10,000 reward, and you can call in to Crime Stoppers. That number is 1-800-273-8477 if they have information that will help this family and us bring closure to this tragedy. And with that, I'll entertain a few questions, but as I mentioned, this is still very, very active. We wanted to share what we had. The families here, like I told you, they can. It's up to them if they want to make a comment or two. But we're glad we're at this point in this investigation. If you remember the murders in Idaho, there was a lot of silence in the beginning, and then when you went back and reflected on how much work it took to identify and arrest this guy all the way in Pennsylvania, it takes a lot of work to reach this point, and it took a lot of work from this team. And that's it. In conclusion, the family want to say anything, share anything?
I just want to thank you. Can you go up to the microphone?
Come on up here, Mrs. White. Mother.
Hi, I'm Nikita White, the mother, and I just want to thank the sheriff, the detectives, everybody that played a part in, this arresting this individual, and want to encourage people to come forward with more information so that all the rest of the individuals that did this, shot at the scene, or anybody that had anything to do with it, is arrested. I think they should be held accountable as well. And I just want to thank everybody, and thank the public for coming forward.
How relieved are you that they made an arrest?
I'm very relieved. I'm happy. I'm happy that they made the arrest. Glad that people came forward, and like I said, I wasn't gonna give up. I was gonna fight, and I'm still fighting. I'm gonna continue to fight. I'm not going anywhere.
What would you say to your baby, your daughter?
I love you. I miss you. I mean, I miss her. Baby, sleep peacefully. You know. And for your baby, I have her. She's good. I'm here to do whatever you would have done for her.
What are your feelings about what the county's actions have been regarding the event organizers and, you know, other people involved with that may have prevented this?
I'm really not gonna speak on that, on the county event. You know, they're part in it or anything. Like they said, there's an ongoing investigation, so I'm not gonna speak on that.
I just want to close with just a comment. I met with Mrs. White Saturday. It was just her, me, and Detective Dale and Detective Scupo. Said the arrest was made Friday, and we talked about being parents and grandparents. And I have a daughter that's 33. She was 29. She has a granddaughter that's 9. My granddaughter's 9, which I just spent the whole week with. And as parents, we are conditioned to take care of our elderly parents and then bury them. We're never conditioned to bury our children. And that's exactly what Mrs. White had to do in this case. And let's not forget the pain and loss that this family has experienced in this tragedy. But it's close when you start making the closeness of how, you know, you have grandkids and daughters and sons and you lose one of them. It's just a tragedy. I can't imagine. So with that, we're done. Thank you all. Yes.
Can you say how many suspects you're still looking for, or no?
Probably won't say that, but we know that there are people in our community that know there's additional information out there that we probably need and want.
And
So
what has the suspect been telling you so far?
he wouldn't tell us a thing. Wouldn't tell us a thing.
Do you still believe it could be potentially gang related? Is there any kind of motive that we have?
No, it wasn't gang related. So we'll get to the bottom of it all. We'll give you motive when all of them are arrested.
Where do the cameras go up, do you know yet?
As I told you, they're in the bid process, and then once we get the final cost, we'll have to go to the county, get the approval for the funding, and then they go up.
But that wouldn't be anytime soon.
I wouldn't say, government runs real slow. I would say we're in March, maybe May 1st. All right, thank you all. Anybody else for the family? Want to say any more? You want to say, come on up? Yeah, by all means. You're welcome to. That's all good.
Nope, you said everything. Thank you.
I'm Michaela. I'm a friend of Nikisha. We've been friends for a while. And what I would like to say is for anyone that have any more information, for anyone else that was involved in that shooting, to please come forward. We just celebrated her daughter's 10th birthday, and she had to have her mom tell her happy birthday through a teddy bear. Let's just visit that for a second. It's hard to believe, it's hard to imagine as a parent, as a mother myself, to have to hear your mother tell you, the person that's been there since birth, until that very day when her daughter was there with her. Just imagine that for a second. So if there's anyone else have any more information, please come forward. All we want is justice. That's it. We just want justice for Nikisha. What happened was not fair at all, not only to her, but her daughter. Her daughter, her family, her mother. I grieve for them every day. These suspects, these individuals, if they go to jail, when they go to jail, their family get to visit them in a jail. They get to talk to them. They get to see them smile. They get to tell them happy birthday. They get to tell their loved ones happy birthday. We have to do that at a graveyard. There is no more hearing her, calling her, telling her we love her. We live through memories on Facebook, recordings. That's what we live through. We no longer can see her smile, just looking at her, talking to her, getting advice, getting our hair done. We miss her dearly. And I really feel as if There's more people with more information, and we really need you guys to come out and help us. Continue sharing justice for Nikisha. Continue being vigilant in your community. This is your community. Today it's us. Tomorrow it could be you. And you would want someone to stand up, and you would want someone to come forward and speak on the behalf of your loved one and be vigilant as her mother and everyone else behind her mother and her daughter is doing. We're here right now as a support to her mother, her family, because we love her, we love them, and we loved Nikisha dearly. That's what I got.
And Sheriff, can we get you to just spell out the name of the suspect for us?
It is Kimi. I'll spell out for you, but it will be in the release that's applied to you. Kemmye. Middle name Ricardo, 2 C's. Parson, Parson.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You said he's a resident of?
Hillsborough County, we're waiting to extradite him here.
But he lives here, he's from
He-
here.
He's from Fort Pierce. Yes, ma'am, I'm sorry.
Do you have an age for him?
28?
There you
28?
go. All right, thanks.